Welcome to the Recommended Daily Value Podcast, your daily dose into the health and wellness world.
Welcome back to the Recommended Daily Value Podcast, where we dive into everything health, fitness, and nutrition related 5 days a week in 5 minutes or less. This podcast is brought to you by Umzu, and I'm your host, Tyler Woodward. If you're not already, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, because today's topic of the day is boron. Specifically, why there's nothing boring about boron. Now, I'm always going to give credit where credit's due, and a lot of the information I'm going to present here today is from an NCBI article from Lara Pizzorno, and it's titled, Nothing Boring About Boron. So, yeah, I may have ripped her off a little bit, but, they say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Back to boron. Boron is the fifth element on the periodic table and is considered an essential trace mineral, meaning that your body only requires a tiny amount of it to function properly, but it can make a big difference when you don't have that, with most estimates being between 1 to 13 milligrams being a safe daily intake, with 20 at the high end. There is an established minimum for boron deficiency, but it appears to be around 0.33 milligrams daily, maybe a little bit lower. You're probably not going to get very sick from a boron deficiency, unlike other nutrient deficiencies, but it can definitely contribute to suboptimal functioning on a large level. Though you only need a small amount of it, boron has a huge impact on the body. Here's 10 functions of boron. Number 1, boron plays an essential role in the mineralization of bones, aka osteogenesis, basically keeping your bones strong and healthy. One study Pizzorno references found that the excretion of both calcium and magnesium was significantly reduced when a boron supplement of 3 milligrams a day was administered, which suggests that the increase in boron intake allowed the body to utilize more of the minerals it was taking in this case for bone remodeling, rather than excreting it out of the body. Number 2, boron improves wound healing. Pizzorno references the use of low-concentration boric acid solution, which is basically a derivative of boron bound to other things in water. And according to her, boric acid has been used in the ICU to help increase wound healing for deep wounds and promote the recovery of the extracellular matrix. Interestingly, boric acid is also used to maintain a healthy vaginal pH and fight yeast infections. Number 3, boron may protect against the effect of toxic heavy metals and pesticides. Some research has found that boron protected against the oxidative stress induced from malathion, a type of pesticide, in addition to other heavy metals, including certain types of arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury, etc. Number 4, boron increases sex hormones in both men and women. Multiple studies have found that boron supplementation reliably increases estrogen and testosterone in women and testosterone in men. Number 5, boron increases free testosterone. You may have heard this before, but boron supplementation has been repeatedly shown to decrease sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG. As the name states, sex hormone binding globulin is a protein that binds to our sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen that prevents our cells from uptaking them and using them. So by decreasing SHBG, boron increases the amount of usable testosterone and estrogen in our bloodstream or serum for our cells to be able to use. Number 6, boron improves vitamin D status and half-life. It looks as though boron can not only improve our ability to synthesize vitamin D, but it also seems to decrease the amount of vitamin D that is degraded. One study found that administering boron to a boron-depleted group, their vitamin D levels rose by 39% after 49 days, indicating that boron and vitamin D are very interrelated. Pizzorno also suggests that boron may make vitamin D effective in vitamin D non-responders, who are people that, for whatever reason, vitamin D does not work to increase their vitamin D levels. Number 7, boron increases magnesium absorption and retention. As mentioned before briefly, boron has been shown to increase the absorption and retention of magnesium and increase the amount that's actually deposited into your bones, of which about 60% of the body's magnesium is stored in our bones, so it's very important. Number 8, boron increases NAD. NAD is one of the main indicators used to determine metabolic rate, metabolic efficiency, along with being a marker of overall cellular health. The higher NAD to NADH ratio, it shows that your cells are running more efficiently, and boron appears to bind to NAD+ and keep it active in the body, which may be very beneficial. Number 9, boron reduces inflammatory biomarkers. Consuming adequate boron has been shown to lower the level of certain inflammatory biomarkers like TNF-alpha, CRP, etc., which are all used as indicators to determine how much inflammation is occurring within the cell. This indicates that boron is either having a direct or indirect anti-inflammatory effect. And number 10, boron may play a role in enhancing cognitive function. In both rats and humans fed a boron-deficient diet, they exhibited worsened motor function. Quote unquote, in humans, boron deprivation of less than 0.3 milligrams a day resulted in poor performance on tasks of motor speed, dexterity, and short-term memory. Here are a couple foods that are relatively high in boron. Grapes are really anything that are derived from grapes, like raisins or wine. Avocados, prunes, peaches, apples, pears. That's about it. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, there's nothing boring about boron. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and to share with a friend. And remember, these opinions are my own, based on my own research and experiences, and it's not medical advice. Till next time, be good.